Good morning. Just had my breakfast. It's 1:11 p.m. I guess we'll call it lunch. I hear the trash truck outside. I just looked at the classwork that's due today. There's 2 discussion questions. The questions themselves are fairly short, but that doesn't mean that the answers are going to be. The instructions also say to use the content in Unit 2. We have to provide quotations and cite them, and that's a pain in the ass. But I looked at Unit 2, and it says, just use the content in Unit 2. All right. Well, there's about 30 documents in Unit 2. Some of them are a paragraph. Some of them scroll for 5 minutes. So I'm going to have to figure out which documents will be helpful to me and then read through them. And of course, they're all written in ye olde English, and I can't understand shit. So Kenneth's going to come over and take a look at the 3. I mean, it looks pretty easy. It's just that upper hose. I have to decide the level of quality of which this repair will be completed to. I could just replace that hose with a Gates or a Rain. You guys said positive things about both Gates and Rain. I could just do that, or I could do both hoses and the temp sensor and the level sensor and the expansion tank and the lid. So I've got to decide how much I want to spend on this. I want it to be as little as possible, but I also don't want to just buy some aftermarket hose for $14 and snap that in there and hope that fixes it. And it probably will, but the rest of that stuff probably isn't far behind. So I'll have to get some price quotes. So I'm going to run over to Larrick Motorsport. I've got time today. See if he has one. They have like a little parts inventory there full of kind of everything. I see a lot of coolant hoses and brake rotors and pads and all kinds of stuff. And this is pretty damn common for M54, for BMWs in general. For really any car at 228, you can't expect these hoses to last, 250,000 miles. So I'm gonna go see if he has one, see if he has any knowledge on Rain and or Gates products. And I'm seeing how freaking dirty this car is. I used the trimmer by it, and I guess it flips mud all over the wheel. That looks like shit. So I need to have it washed. And then somebody commented, am I gonna have the rust done? Yeah, probably to some extent. I will look into that. I will take it to my body guy and see if he can do, like, the worst part is definitely here, because this whole, like, none of this was here even 2 months ago. So this whole fender lip and then into the quarter panel, and that, done to the quality that I would have done on the M5 would be very expensive. We'd have to pull the rear bumper and refinish the whole panel from the body line down, and that's not original paint already. I don't know if there's body filler in there or not. I know this car was in a relatively minor rear end accident a number of years ago. The paint here does not perfectly match the trunk lid, being that this quarter panel was painted. So there's your 3-minute intro. I'm gonna go to Larrick and figure things out. We'll deal with this body stuff way later. We gotta get this car running first. I am gonna water more today. I guess I'm gonna do that first and then run over to Larrick Motorsport. Hi, Alex. Hi, Alex. Alex is flooring it and kicking the back end out. Alex, be responsible. So he and I just had dinner at Flipside. I look like shit because I have not shaven today, and it's not even in the plants yet. I've been working on the 3 Series. We've been unsuccessful by and large for the 3 Series. I've got sprinklers going at home. I got my class thing done today. The discussion post is taken care of. So I went to Larrick Motorsport to see if they had the hose. He didn't have the hose. He ordered the hose. I hung out for like 20 minutes, talked with them, had a bunch of laughs, headed home. I got halfway home and I got the text, hey, the hose just arrived. It was 40 minutes. It's like he has his own parts mule up in Cleveland that he makes an order, and the guy just jumps in his like Subaru or something and runs down here with it. So I got the hose that I needed. He had an expansion tank, and he gave me 2 gallons of 50/50 antifreeze. So I thought, the tools to do the job, the parts to do the job. I got in there. The expansion tank that's in the car was made in 2013. It's like right before I bought the car, they replaced the expansion tank with an OEM. So I don't need to do the expansion tank. I've replaced the hose. We filled it up with coolant. It's not circulating for some reason. The level doesn't go down. We turn the heat all the way up, put the heater core on hot, and the level is not circulating in the expansion tank. So, or through the system. So we're thinking that part of the old hose that broke got ingested into the cooling system somewhere and is blocked. Great. So we're gonna put it up on ramps tonight. It needs an oil change anyway, so I'm gonna do the oil change, take the belly pin off, get a look at the bottom of the expansion tank. We'll figure it out. I refuse to tow it somewhere and pay somebody $1,000. There's plenty of people that would just say, oh, my car's broken, let's go spend thousands. Well, I'm gonna pay Tom for what I use, and if I don't use the expansion tank and it's a rain hose, I owe him about, plus the coolant, less than $50 to fix this. It would be, what, $250 to tow it, then a diagnosis, $120, could be $1,000 to do what I'm gonna do for 50 bucks. All right, here we go. 3:30's on ramps. Kennan's been mowing and he's gonna shower and eat dinner, so I'm gonna start with doing an oil change. I don't know exactly how far it's been, but I will update my document and find out. I had to bring the ramps up, drive it up there, which is easier when it's a four-wheel drive car and the front wheels are helping move it up there. When it's just rear, they tend to skid along the floor and you gotta put a 2x4 in between the foundation and the ramp so it doesn't skid. I dug the crawler, or the creeper up there, up here. Here goes the fun. Oil filler caps off, dipsticks out, and the oil's coming out. And it's pretty dark. I would guess it's 6,000 to 8,000 miles and about 12.5 or 13 months. I think I did it maybe before Timmy Fest last year. This is after. I don't like the placement of the oil filter housing on the M54. I am glad that it's under the hood and not way down in the belly of the beast somewhere, but you can't really get a good grip on it because the power steering reservoir is in the way. So if that thing's on there too tightly, then we gotta make some tools work. All right, it's been a long day of car work. I look like shit, my apologies. I've got my Buff Monkey Hawaiian shirt on. After we finished working on the 3 Series, we hung out for quite a while with Razvan, Sabrina, and Kenan. Today was half successful. The oil change is done, fresh oil, new filter, clean the bottom of the oil pan, replaced the expansion tank, got the new hose on there, filled it up with coolant. It's not ingesting the coolant for some reason. We fill it up, the level should immediately go down. We open the heater core up, put the heat on 91 degrees, put the fan speed all the way up, no hot air, no matter how long you run the engine. The thermostat's supposed to open at 93 degrees, it's going up to 120, then the needle starts to climb, it's gonna overheat, so we shut it down. So there's something wrong somewhere that it's not sucking coolant into the engine. If you guys have any ideas, please leave them in comments down below. There's gotta be a blockage somewhere. Either the thermostat's not opening, the piece of the hose that broke off, we're fearing that those small pieces were sucked into something. The thermostat, stuck the thermostat shut. I think we would hear if the water pump weren't turning because the belt would be turning but the pump would be stuck. I don't think it's the water pump. Probably either the thermostat or the heater core. If stuff is sucked into the heater core, that's a bitch. That's in the dash somewhere. I don't even know how you get into the heater core and flush that out. But I'm going to have to talk to Tom tomorrow, do some further diagnosis. If I have to put a thermostat in it, that's not a big deal. But we have a fresh expansion tank, a fresh hose. Here's the old one. I kind of put it back together, but the brake is right here. That hose is new from the expansion tank over to the water pump housing. There's the old oil. We got, you know, whatever, 5 or 6 liters out of that. But it's still not working. I can't drive that car, so we'll learn more tomorrow. I'll talk to Tom, maybe do a thermostat if he thinks that's worthwhile. I mean, where else can it go? If it got into the block, could those pieces get into the block and plug the block up? I don't even know. It's a headache, and I really hope it's not going to require a ton more work or cost from here. But it's 3 a.m. right now. I got my classwork done today. The clock's striking 3. I really need to get to bed. So I'll let you guys know what I find out tomorrow. If you have any ideas, please leave them in the comments below. I'm gonna go take a shower and go to bed. So, all right, good night.